go. Hi, I'm Kerri, and this is...
Oh, me?
Yeah, you got to say your name. We need to really work on our, YouTube channel
Brooke?
intros. And this is Brooke, and we are doing our team call together. So welcome. Danielle, I love just seeing your giggles in the background. It makes me so happy.
I know, me too.
So fun. So yeah, we are going to get started. It is May 7th, and I'm going to be leading the team call this evening. June 4th, Brooke is going to be leading the team call, so make sure you get on for that. And we are doing them in between our calls. So mine is 8 Eastern Standard Time. Hers is 8:30, so we are doing them at 8:15 because we can get along like that, meet right in the middle. So today I'm going to be talking about the vital behaviors. And I know we all know what they are, but can you just show me? I want to see all of your beautiful faces. Can you raise your hand if you are legit doing them every day? Like you're actually doing all of the vitals every day. Can I see show of hands? And if you're new and you're like, what is she even talking about?
It's cool.
That it's cool. We'll get to you. Okay. So if you're not, it's cool, but let's talk it out. Let's talk it out a little bit. So the vital behaviors are the things that we need to be doing every single day as coaches. And really, if you think about it, 3 of them are things that I think that every human being should really be doing. Maybe even all 4, and let me tell you why. So 4 vital behaviors are being proof of the product. So that's like drinking your Shakeology every day, doing your workout every day or rest days or whatever, but basically using the Beachbody products, taking care of yourself. Okay, so taking care of yourself, treating yourself well, being proof of the product and sharing your journey. That's one major thing. And don't you think that every human being should really do that? I mean, we use the Beachbody products and programs specifically, but every human being should be taking care of themselves and taking time for themselves. And a lot of us don't do that. So instead of feeling like it's something that is on your to-do list, like, oh man, I have to work out, or oh man, I have to drink my shake, or I'm not doing my vital behavior. This is something that we get to do because we're able to, because we're healthy. So just think about it that way when you're doing it and sharing your journey. So that's one thing that I don't think I need to go over that much, but that is one of our vital behaviors. The second one is personal development. That's taken care of up here. It's your brain power. Most people listen to audibles, read books, podcasts, YouTube, whatever your learning style is. Find something that you like, and it might take a couple tries. So if you start listening to one book that's an audible and their voice makes you want to end your life, just don't do it, guys. Don't just keep trying to listen to something that you are disliking. You will find something that fits you, that suits you, and that makes you excited to do this vital behavior.
I have something to add there, Kerri.
What was that?
I have something to add there. I just learned because of Ashley Graham, you can return an Audible book. Did you know that? If you start listening to it and their voice sucks, or you're just like, I'm not vibing with this, you can return it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I haven't tried it myself, but Ashley said it, and then somebody else was like, yeah, I do it all the time.
What?
Yeah.
Cool. I know they have the wee samples that you can listen to. So I usually download the sample so that I can judge their voice accordingly.
Yeah.
If we're going to be spending every morning together, that's important to me that I can handle their voice. So basically, with that particular vital, I wanted to dig a little bit deeper into it. Okay. And if you've been coaching for a while, you may have gotten into this habit too. There's really personal development for your business, like business development. And then there's personal development as in an area that you are maybe weakest in, or that you're wanting to learn about or improve about for yourself. And those are different. Okay, those are different. They're different types of personal development. They're different types of PD. And if you're only doing the business one, and I am so guilty of that. Like I will listen to books about coaching and leadership, or specifically Beachbody videos by like some of the top coaches. And I'll count that as my PD. And then I'm like, why do I have no friends? No, I'm just kidding. But like, you get it. Like there needs to be part of your personality that is growing and changing. Okay. And that is not just because we're coaches. That's because we want to be better people, right? We want to constantly be growing and changing and improving ourselves, whether it be to help with anxiety, to help with depression, to help with time management, to help with communication strategies, or getting organized. So instead of focusing your PD only on business, which you should be learning and growing your business strategies as well, I kind of break it into two separate topics. So I've got my business growth. Maybe my business focus is Instagram. So I'll listen to 10 minutes on Instagram and try to grow myself as a business leader and grow my knowledge in that area. And then maybe 10 or 15 minutes a day in an area that I want to improve in personal life. So that could be like, Girl, Go Wash Your Face is one that I just downloaded. I'm really excited to read that one. But if you need any advice on what book to read, maybe put topics in the comment section, like do a little typey type and be like, hey, what's a good book for confidence? What is a good book for creating better routines for myself? Because it doesn't matter if you're an awesome business person if you are like miserable, right? If you're like alone and sad and ruining your relationships and like the business is taking away from you being who you want to become, it's not going to work out. So you need to be working on who you are as a person alongside your business. Any questions on that? Second vital.
I like to think of it as like professional development and personal development. That's how I kind of separate it in my brain. I think it's like a teacher thing.
Yeah, definitely.
The professional, like thinking of like your business and how you can grow yourself as a coach, and then the personal, like how you can grow yourself as a person.
Yeah, as a human being. I like that.
Yeah.
So
separate.
So the next one is recognition. And that's another one. It's like, should we not all as human beings be recognizing one another for, like, I really truly think the vital behaviors have made me a better human being. Right? If we're like taking care of ourselves, we're working out every day, we're taking time for ourselves. That's the first one. Second one is we're improving ourselves, our knowledge, yes, our knowledge of the business, but also improving ourselves personally. And then we are recognizing, which to me is kind of like increasing gratefulness and awareness of other people's actions and seeing the good in other people. When I started doing that every single day, oh man, it has completely changed the way I see other people. And so I encourage you guys to every single day, make sure that you are recognizing someone. And I want to push you one step further and say, I want you to do it publicly. So like, use that as a way to share with people that you are a Beachbody coach. Instead of having all of the posts be about you and your journey, highlight a challenger, highlight another coach on your team. Say thank you to somebody publicly, and that can be a post in one of your probably various places that you are posting every day, right? Spice it up a little bit and maybe have that be one of your stories that you do every day, is like recognizing somebody. Because A, I think it will make you more aware of the other people on your team. And B, I think it will just make you a happier person. So once again, these are things that I encourage my challengers to do. So as a coach, there's no reason that we shouldn't be doing those 3 every single day, right? And then the fourth one is the one I'm going to dig the deepest in, and it's inviting. Surprise, surprise. I know you guys are probably like, oh crap, we're going to talk about inviting again. But I don't know. I almost think when I really break it down, I was an elementary school teacher. So I taught second through sixth grade refugee and migrant education. I was a teacher for 9 years, and inviting is something that I encouraged my students to do every single day, to invite other kids to be in their groups, to invite kids to play with them at recess, to make sure that there was nobody out there who felt left out. That was the job of every single member of my class. And so when I think about it as like a vital behavior as a Beachbody coach, I mean, that would be like, those should be vital behaviors for all people, right? Shouldn't we be doing that as adults too? Looking around us and seeing who are the people in our lives that haven't been invited. Maybe they don't have a group. Maybe they don't have a platform. Maybe, I don't know. Everyone is invited to our table, right? That's what we do as Beachbody coaches. We make sure that every single person is invited. And a lot of those people aren't going to walk up to your table and say, is it okay if I sit with you? You have to be the one to call out to them. So, hi, Marie. So I want to break that down even further, because one of the topics that we wanted to talk about today with you guys was not just inviting, but how to invite in a way that feels natural. So raise your hand if you're using some sort of like a script. You're using kind of like a hey girl type of a script, and you're sending it out to every person. Then maybe you're going to the next part of your script where you give them the information. If you haven't already done this, I want you to take your script, and I want you to meet up with your sister or your best friend, or that friend who will tell you that your booty is not looking like the shape it's supposed to in those jeans. Okay, so find that friend who is going to tell you what's up. They'll be very, very honest with you. And I want you to have this conversation with them. I want you to use your script out loud with somebody. People are having, okay, I'm very easily distracted. So we're cool, we're moving, we're good. You can hear me. Things are, okay. There's conversations and they're popping up, and keep it going. I'm gonna ignore it. Focus, Kerri, focus. What were we talking about?
Inviting naturally and talking to your best friend who's going to tell you that your
yes,
butt
thank you. Okay, so I want you to get your best friend. I want you to hang out with your best friend, and I want you to have this conversation. And if at any point you feel like you want to crawl under the table and die, the script is not right for you. So if you have this conversation with your best friend and you're going through and you're reading it word for word, what you are typing to people, and your best friend is like, what is happening right now? And you are like, I can't believe I have to read this to you. This is so embarrassing. You're doing it wrong. That is not how it is supposed to feel. It is supposed to feel like you are having a conversation with your best friend. I swear a lot. So there are cuss words in my invites. My invite should not look like yours, and yours should not look like Brooke's. None of our invites should look the same, because we talk completely differently. So if you are talking to your best friend, you're like, oh my God, girl, like, holy crap, today was like the freaking worst day ever. And then you like roll into the conversation and you're like, but tell me more about your health and fitness goals. How have things been going for you lately? Like, does that sound like the same person talking? They're like, so have you been rocking some goals or what? That is how I would say that to my best friend. That is how I'm going to type that to the person that I'm talking to. Because listen, guys, if you're not getting through to your best friend, then that means that you are talking to somebody in a way that means you're probably not really attracting your tribe. I can tell you, when I'm talking to a person and they call me dude, I'm like, dude, yes, more of this. Like, you're my people, because language is so powerful. The way we talk to people really is going to attract or repel them. So I want you guys to do the BFF test with your script And if you are embarrassed, highlight and rewrite. Okay? Can I get like pinkies up, pinky promises that you guys are going to do this? Otherwise it's like, if it's awkward for you and your best friend, it's awkward for the person on the other end of the computer. So any script you get is really supposed to be helping you make this easier. And we say the same things over and over and over and over, but it needs to be said with your voice, in your way. Okay. Another thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is if you are really busy, really busy. You're like so busy you can hardly, can I get some hands up if you're like that? If you are like crazy busy. Okay. All right. So when I started coaching, I was teaching full time, and I was the kind of teacher that got there. No, I didn't get there early. I rolled in like last minute. I'm not even going to play that I was there early. I'm never anywhere early. Let's be real about this. But I was there very late every single day. I was one of those teachers that was like, I closed down the building. I was very familiar with the janitorial staff. Okay, that was me. And I worked part-time jobs on the weekend, in the evenings, and I was in grad school. I got 2 master's degrees before I decided to shift my focus to this. Super nerd. Okay, I love learning. I love staying busy. But when I started adding in Beachbody coaching, I thought my husband was going to murder me. He was like, how could you possibly handle one more thing in your life? And I know a lot of you sign up as coaches and then maybe other things happen. Like maybe you have another kid, or you all of a sudden are buying a new house, or you have to redo something. I don't know. You have to like do manual labor. No ideas are coming to me right now. You're busy, and you got busy, and you're busier than you thought you would be when you started coaching. I want to encourage you to try to do all of your vital behaviors if you can, or at least 3 of them before you go to work. That is something that I started doing when I decided I was going to do this full time, and I was teaching full time. I was doing this full time, and I was still taking classes. And I decided if I was going to get everything done, I knew that there were certain things that had to happen before I got to work. And so I know this sounds a little crazy, but what I would do is every single morning I got up early. My alarm went off. I did the miracle morning thing. I did the 5-second rule. I did all the PD, but I was like, when my alarm went off, my butt was out of bed, because I told my husband that if I didn't get up on the first alarm, that we had to buy one of those shocker bracelets, those like terrifying shocky bracelets. You know what I'm talking about? The Pavlok ones. And that was how I was going to go about it. So I threatened myself with electric shock if I did not get my butt up and moving immediately. I also bribed myself with a delicious snack every morning. Now they have the Beach Bar, so I can do that. But I made like a Shakeology ball bribe for myself every morning. And it was upstairs waiting for me in the kitchen with the unicorn crack. And it was like out of bed, sprinting upstairs, eat my little cookie, take the unicorn crack, because I had an hour and a half to do my PD, to do my workout, to post online, to do recognition, which a lot of times ended up being my posts, and to send out at least 5 invites to someone who had liked my post the day before. Because I was the teacher who, I didn't have my phone on me. In my school district, you would get in big trouble for that. That wasn't something you could do. So I wasn't allowed to have my phone on me during the day out where the kids could see it. If I was going to work my business, it had to be when I was going to the bathroom, or maybe in my 15-minute lunch period. And that was it. And then when I got home, I was doing other things too. So I needed to make sure that I was getting in some of those vital behaviors every single day, like a little bit of each one. So that's a recommendation I have for you. I started doing some things that might sound a little weird, but like, you got to do what you got to do. Every day when I drove to work, I did voice notes to my challengers and my coaches. every single day. And I had a really creepy list in my car that, like, I used to write their names on my window in Expo marker because I'm a teacher, and I was like, Expo marker, I'll just write on the windows. And then I really realized it was like really creepy to have people's names on the window of my car, like a list of names, like bad idea. So I switched over to a like sticky note type of situation. And that worked really, really well. And on my way to work, I made sure that I checked in with my people every single day. Or I had like a list of coaches and a list of challengers I wanted to check in with. And I just left them. It was like, hey, Siri, text Kelly Lynn. What would you like me to say to Kelly Lynn? Tell Kelly Lynn, I hope she has a great day. I hope you have a good day. Delete the message, Siri, delete. So it didn't go very well at the very beginning, but once you get used to sending text messages with your voice, you can send a lot of those suckers in a 5 to 10 minute drive, which is how long it takes to get anywhere in my town because I live in the middle of nowhere. So get things done in the in-betweens because we are all busy people. And if a power hour is not working for you, break it up. Power pockets, 5 minutes at a time. I had little sticky notes above my toilet. I had them in my kitchen. I had them by my couch. And it was every time I went to these certain places, there were certain tasks that I did. Like with my team, I always say, log your shit when you shit. Tell me you won't remember that, right? Log your stuff when you do your stuff, right? So above the toilet, I had the little sticky notes and it said MCT, my challenge tracker. Some of my negligent coaches and challengers, I would send them my picture to put up in front of their toilet because I thought that was really funny. Like, I want you to think of me every time you're pooping. And I hope it makes you log and comment on other people's post in the challenge tracker because we need to be there for each other. Kay's so embarrassed. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe this is my coach right now. Yeah, no, it's real. It's real. But we're busy. But there's certain things that you do every day. And if anyone on my team tells me that they don't have time to log, I'm like, but do you poop though? And you drink Shakeology, so I know you're regular, so don't even play with me. So pretty much covered that one, don't you think, Brooke? Is that good on that topic? Moving on. So natural combos. We also wanted to talk a little bit about how I have built my business a little bit differently than other people. And that is, I have built a lot of it in person. I am a people person. I love people. I love talking to the people who are around me and being present with the people who are around me. And I love connecting with people who I was maybe really good friends with at one point, but lost touch. And it was like, I didn't really know how to reconnect with those people. Beachbody gave those friendships back to me. So if you like look on this call right now, my coaches, so Kay, I met when she was going through new teacher training and she was wearing the cutest little suspenders in the whole world. And I was like, she's going to be my best friend because we both have 6 kids in our family. And Michelle Di Fiore, the badass mamacita who has 4 Success Club points on the board right now, she taught with me at Buffalo Jones Elementary School when I first started teaching. And she was like the best coworker ever. Like we connected. She helped me learn Spanish. She taught me how to merengue. And now she's a coach on the team. And so is her cutie patootie son. Do we get to see Alberto? Yeah, that guy right there. Okay, John Houston. I met John Houston in Cancun. We were drinking by the pool and like talking, and he and his wife have each lost 100 pounds. Each of them. And they are both coaches, and they are awesome. Lisbeth Koning. I met her at Girl Scout camp when I was like younger, like a child. So the majority of the coaches on my team, the majority of the challengers are people that I meet in my travels. They're people that were in staff meetings with me. They're people that bumped into me in the street, or they are my Uber driver in Nashville or whatever. I connect with the people around me. And the way that I do that is with it's like the 3-foot rule. This is Amy Silverman's rule. And it was something that I heard when I first started coaching, when I was still in that mindset of, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to build a big business. And she was talking about some of her coaches on her team who said the same thing. And she was like, unless you are by yourself in a box at work, you have time and like people around you to talk to. So if you are a mom and you're going to PTO meetings, look around you. If you're a teacher and you're in a staff meeting, look around you. Ask people how they're doing. Ask people what's going on with their lives. Ask people if there's anything that you could do to help. Do the people who you see every day know that you have challenge groups going on that they are invited to? Or are you waiting for them to walk up to your table and ask if they can sit with you? So be very present and aware of the people who are around you. Make sure that there is not a single person in your life that could sign up with a different coach because they didn't know that this is what you were doing. If the day came and they needed to lose weight because all of a sudden, I don't know, they had a day at the doctor where they got bad news, would they go to you or would they go to the YMCA? Would they go to you or would they go to Complete Nutrition and get all their supplements? So there's a way to do it that's pushy and annoying, and there's a way to do it that shows that you care. And if you're not sure that you're doing it right, try it out on your best friend, because I'm sure she'll tell you, like, you sound really salesy and annoying right now. Try again. Redo. So yeah, I use the 3-foot rule, and I used it because I like talking to people in person, and B, I mean, I was so busy. It was like, how much can I really be on my phone? I couldn't be on my phone that much, but I could ask the people around me. So that in that way, I was really able to, I don't know, like get all my vitals done first thing in the morning. And then anything I did on top of that, I counted as like extra, I guess. There were certain activities that I could do while watching TV with my husband. He was playing on his phone. I could be adding friends to my network, building up my Facebook, building up my Instagram. So like maybe list out those tasks that you can do that are kind of mindless and save those for when you are waiting in the waiting room. You know what I mean? Are there any questions on those things? Let me look in the chat really quick. Yeah, Steve, I saw your note about the no scripts thing. It's funny you say that. When I started, I was like very anti-script, and I always would tell my coach Marie, I'm not using the scripts. I'm not using the script. That's like gross and weird to like script your friends. I'm not that kind of person. And then I typed the same list of what comes with a 21-day fix challenge pack like 5 million freaking times, and I was about done. So I just started saving some of the things that I had said over and over, and I put them in a note all together, and then I would copy and paste them, and then crap, I'm using a script. That's what this is, and this is why they created it. So you can do it whatever way you want. You can borrow one of the scripts to make sure that you have the right information if you're a new coach, but rewrite it in your words. Or if you notice that you're saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over, save yourself a little bit of this and save it in a note so that if someone asks you that same question later, you have it written out in your words.
Right. So you can still copy and paste. It just needs to be your own words.
Yeah.
needs to be you. And it can't be, you know, Ashley Feldison's or Kate Morgan or, you know, because you heard it on a team call or something. Don't just take it and copy it and paste it. Take
Right.
it, you know, take the information and put it into words like you would naturally say to your best friend.
Yeah.
And then
so if you're not someone who says, hey girl, you should not be sending hey girls. Right? Like I send what up sisters. It's nothing. There was one more thing on the list that I didn't go over, and that was closing
conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Closing conversations. So if you have had lots of conversations lately and you just feel like the combos are going on and on and on and on, or maybe you're like talking to the same people, but like you just can't seem to get them to commit one way or the other. Here are some tips, some strategies, or things to think about. When you're asking them to sign up and do this with you, are you inviting them to a specific event? Like, for example, I want you to compare it to inviting someone to go to a yoga class with you. Okay? If I'm inviting Brooke to go with me to yoga class, I say, hey, Brooke, are you free on Thursday? Do you want to go to yoga class with me? I'm going to yoga class. Do you want to go to yoga class? And Brooke is like, I'm going to need some more information about the yoga class. So I'm like, okay, here's what it is. Girl, I already have a membership. Guests are $5. You're on your own on that. Like, I already paid my way. You have to pay your way. Is that not the same as a challenge pack, right? We all bought challenge packs. So the people we're talking to need to buy a challenge pack to be able to do this with you. The same thing as inviting someone to a yoga class. You pay for your class. They pay for their class. You do it together. Okay, so the thing is, if I'm like, hey, Brooke, do you want to like ever do yoga? Right, she just laughs because it's like, yeah, cool. Are we ever going to do yoga together? No, we're not. It's the same thing as when it's like, hey, we should hang out more. Okay, bye. You're never going to hang out more. That's never going to happen. So you need a specific, like, ask them, starting on this specific day, are you in or are you out? Because if I don't know, and it's like Thursday, and the class is supposed to start at 6, and you haven't given me an answer and it's 6, bye, Felicia. Like, I'll check with you on the next class, right? But you can't go to this one because we done started. So, like, have a start date for your challenges that people have to say yes or no to. When I first started, I was so afraid that if I was to, like, this day in or out, they might say no. But then you do it for 3 years and it's like, oh, everybody says no. Oh, that's just part of it. Okay, yeah, they say no until they say yes. That's very, very normal. But we need an answer so that we can move forward. We need closure one way or the other. So I don't want you to think of a no as a, like, as rejection or as something you did wrong or you didn't have the conversation well enough or you didn't. It's not about you. It's about them and their schedule and what they're needing. Maybe they don't want to do yoga right now. Maybe they were busy at 7 o'clock, right? So, like, you would still invite them again the next time you're going to a class. And you want to do the same thing with invites. So some things that I have done in the past to, like, close the deal is write to them and say, hey, I am starting. I need to know if you are in or out on this date. Either way, it doesn't matter to me, but I'm moving forward with the other girls and I would love to have you. Can you please let me know by tonight? And most of the time they will. They'll be like, nah, girl, sorry, I'm so busy. But instead of, they didn't want to say that before because they felt like it's sometimes easier to just not say anything. And sometimes they're like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm so sorry, I've been so busy. Or maybe I'll hit you later. Like, maybe the next one, please follow up with me. But either way, I always end the conversation by asking that person, next month when we do a challenge, is it cool if I check in with you and see if it's a better time? So I always leave that door open. And I always make sure that it's a positive thing, even if that person has told me yes and then no, yes and then no, and they haven't committed for multiple years. You still keep that relationship positive because it is about them and when they are ready. Another thing that I have done that has kind of helped with closing is I'll say like, hey, I need to know if you're doing this challenge. We're starting on Monday, but I need to have everyone in by Friday so that I can make meal plans over the weekend before we start. Like, kind of make it like I need to know on this date because of whatever. You have things to do, right? You need to meet with people. You need to make meal plans. You can let them know like, hey, I'm trying to get all my orders in by this date because I have a really busy weekend because I'm hanging out with my family and they crazy and I really want to be able to get all my meal plans done before then. So like give them a reason why they need to commit to the challenge by a certain time. I'm actually leaving. I'm going on a trip. I have these things coming up in my life. I need to know if you're in by this date. Some things I've done to sweeten the deal is, hey girl, I know that you were interested in joining in a challenge and I hadn't heard from you. But because I'm going out of town soon, I've decided to hook people up with a swag bag who commit tonight because that would give me enough time to really give you the best experience possible. So kind of like I'll give people like a bag of like a beach bar or a granola bar and maybe an Energized sample and I don't know, just like whatever, maybe like a little notebook and a pen to keep track of their stats or to do some fitness journaling or something like that. Because sometimes when the conversation goes dead and you've said, hey girl, so are you in or are you out? And they don't respond, then it's like, awkward. So the swag bag thing, I like to be able to come back and say, hey, by the way, I have this free thing for you. Do you want that? Because then I feel like I'm offering something rather than asking for something. So that's one. Another thing that I have done if I'm trying to get people to commit last minute is like, hey, so I know that you were interested and you haven't written back. Just wanted to double check if you wanted this free thing that I have. I'm sending them out to people. Did you want to try this free thing? Say something back. Do you want it or not? You know, it's just like dangle that carrot, but you got to have a carrot to dangle. Just remember when you're going back to someone that them not responding does not mean that they hate you or you did a bad job. It's just they probably got busy. So those are a couple strategies. Be straightforward. Give them a date. If the answer is try to get to a no, try to get to a yes or a no. Either way, it's a win because then you know and you can focus on other people. Whew, cool. Go team. How was that? Did we do all right? Are there questions?
Amazing. There are a couple questions in the chat. I had one question. When you said that you are doing your invites before work, so do you not give a crap about which time it is when you're inviting people?
Dude, I do. No.
I'm always nervous people are going to be like, dude, it's 1:00. You just woke me up.
I'm like, bro.
I'm on the East Coast if they're on the West Coast or something. What?
I'm like, bro, turn off your notifications. What? This is like 2018. If you cannot control your sounds on your phone, it's not my problem.
Right. Okay. Can't say the wrong thing to the right person. I have to get over it. Because like if I am up and I'm doing I've always said this, Joe, I've been saying this for like a year. If I could get up and get my invites done at like 4:30 in the morning before I press play, I would love it. But then I'm over here thinking, oh, people on the West Coast, it's going to be like 1:30 in the morning and I'm going to wake them up and blah, 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 blah. No. Cut the crap.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not like most people are so busy we have time to do it when we have time and that's it. So they'll hit you back when they have time and you'll write to them when you have time. But like, I mean, shoot, we're working with people in the UK even, right? So half the conversations, it takes like 3 weeks to get through a convo because of the time change, but it's cool.
It is what it is. Yeah. Because then I could go to bed earlier. It would be such a better schedule.
Yeah. Just do it when you have time. And if you're reaching out, like nobody gets mad about being invited to a party, right? If you're like, hey, come to my birthday party. No one's like, dude, it's like so late. Why would you invite me to, no, they're going to be like, you thought of me. That's so cool. Thank you. You are an amazing human being, even at night. Or, I mean, you could lie and be like, I have no idea why that sent out at 4 a.m. Pretty sure I sent it at an appropriate time.
Yes.
Just kidding.
Love it. Okay, so Samantha wants to know, do you let people join in between challenges, or do they have to wait till the next one?
I totally let them join whenever.
I do too. I didn't know. I was wanting to see what you said. I do too.
No, I totally let them join whenever. And I tell them like, okay, they can't win it. Like if they start midway and you do prizes, I'm like, you're not going to win this because you need to wait until the next month when we're starting another one. But I want you to get in. I want you to practice. I want you to ignore the board that you might have 0 starting out, but I want you to focus on why we're doing this. So yeah, I get people in whenever they're ready. If they're like, oh my gosh, I missed your message. Is it too late? I'm like, no. But let's do this today so I can get you like, do you have time today to get it done?
Yeah.
Because most of the time, guys, like most adults have $160. They might not want to give it to you, but they have it and they're probably not going to like, most adults already know if they're doing this with you or not. Right? Like most of the time, if we want to do something, we sign up that day. Or if we want to buy something, we buy it that day. We don't like go home and think about it for 14 weeks to like decide if we really want to get cable. Like, no, we just do whatever we make a priority. So push them to make a choice one way or the other, move on. But everyone's invited and they can join whenever.
Mm-hmm.
So that mixed signals kind of.
No, that makes sense. That's good. Do you see this one about from Carolyn? She's asking about inviting to a specific program or a general challenge group. She feels like she loses people when she asks the question.
4 questions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the 4 questions she's talking about are what are your health and fitness goals? What has been the hardest part about this for you? And we usually give them suggestions like motivation, meal prep, meal planning, accountability, or all of the above. The third one is, are there something about like workouts? I think like, are there any workouts that you've tried or would like to try? And those are the 4 questions. And usually if you get through all of those, you then have the information that you need to know what program they might want to try or to see if they have a need for a challenge pack. I try to get through those 4 questions as quickly as possible, like in one conversation. But if that isn't possible, like I get through as much of it as I can with the information that they give me. But yeah, I'm usually inviting to a general challenge group that I am like, so if I'm talking to somebody and they are really wanting to work on their flexibility and core strength, I'm going to say, oh, PIO sounds perfect for you. And I more invite that way. So in our challenge group, we have everybody doing different challenges, but like Kelly Lynn on our team, she invites just to 80-day obsession. And that's okay too. So I don't know. I guess it's kind of up to you. If you have a very specific niche market and your niche, I don't know how to, it's like the word is said so differently in Michigan compared to Kansas. I don't know what's correct. Niche market? Niche?
I would say niche.
Yeah, I don't know. Comment below with niche or niche. I know it's spelled the same, but I want you to try to write it phonetically so I know how you say it, where you're from. But if you have a really specific market, like I know veganism is something that you are working on right now, like you could have it be more specifically around that and people could do whatever workout they want if they are living the vegan lifestyle. So yeah, everybody does this part differently, whether your challenge group is one specific 21 day fix. But one thing that I do like, Kay, that we have been doing is Lisbeth and I had talked about we have an ongoing group going on, the Fit Crew Challenge. It's a Facebook group. And then in the app where we can actually track people's shakes and their workouts, that's where we're doing a monthly thing that people can either choose to opt in or opt out for the month. And that's one where if they have a perfect score, like we choose winners and give out prizes and that kind of a thing. And I really like that because whether the person is doing 80-day obsession or they're doing, they're like my dad and they do cardio, 21-day fix, cardio fix every day of the entire year, forever, for his whole life, one workout, whatever, like bring whatever your jam is and do that. And as long as you are logging something every day, you could win the challenge. So it's hard to get all people to start something and stick with it the whole time and want to do the same program. Brooke, what do you do?
I do kind of what you do. So I ask the similar, not exactly, but similar questions. And then I kind of just use that information to kind of get an idea of what program would be the best fit for them. But I mean, 99.9% of people are going to go with the all access, and then we kind of go from there.
Yeah.
In terms of exactly which program that they would follow. I find a lot of my people do end up starting with a 21-day fix because it's just my, not on purpose, but my niche that just kind of, works for the women that I'm kind of coming in contact with, and then kind of going from there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I start most people with the 21-day fix unless they tell me that they've never made it, like that they really struggle with doing anything for longer than a week. I might start them with clean week.
Yeah. Or once in a blue moon, I get somebody who's on the opposite side of the spectrum and, has a really great workout regimen. And, before 2B Mindset, they just want help with the nutrition or something. So maybe they're going to do like 21-day fix extreme and kind of do like sometimes at the gym, sometimes at home or something,
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, most people are at the 21-day fix. Yeah. So Sam had a good question, not to skip the other ones, but just because we're kind of on the topic about 2B Mindset, like I'm curious what you would say, Kerri, like how are you figuring out if you should help people with containers or you should steer them into the direction of 2B Mindset now that it's available?
The way I'm going about that right now, honestly, is when I'm talking to somebody, I'm inviting them to a typical challenge group where we help set you up with a meal plan, you do workouts. So that's kind of like, that's what I needed when I started. So that's what I typically invite to. But if I'm talking to the person and they're like, I can't work out because of these reasons, or I have struggled with food and these are issues that I've had, that's kind of my alarm going off, like, okay, maybe we need to start somewhere else. So I guess if you have any doubt at all in your head from talking to the person that they would be successful in a 21-day workout program, if you worry that they wouldn't make it through it for whatever reason, whatever they've told you, I start talking to them about another option. So for example, I had a client, a woman who came over to my house. She was an older woman. I'd never met her before. Her husband responded to something on Facebook and sent me her contact information. She came over and we had a little chat, and she told me about a lot of things that had been going on in her life, and she just had foot surgery, and eating has been an issue for her since she was younger. And I was like, okay, we have two options. We can either do option A, where I set you up with meal plan and workouts, and you follow the meal plan and you follow the workouts every day and you log those, and we do a challenge group, and we're gonna take it 1 month at a time. That's one option. Option B, we are focusing entirely on your relationship with food, and workouts are extra credit, but that's not our focus right now. We'll get to those eventually. Right now we're focusing on food, your relationship with food, not yo-yo dieting. I kind of go through the different things that 2B Mindset is for. Which one of these sounds like where you're at right now? And she was like, this one, and I'm signing up right now. And I was like, okay, that's great. Do you think you would be at this one before the end of the year? And she was like, yeah. No, definitely. Like, I do want to start working out. And I'm like, okay, awesome, because there's a challenge pack with both of them.
All three.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I break that down. I give them the choice, and then I say, wait, do you want both?
Yeah, kind of presenting both options to them and putting the ball in their court. That's a good idea. But then asking them about the workouts, because then they might as well get bought at the same time.
Yeah.
Psychology and 2B Mindset. Perfect. I love that. That's awesome. Love it. I feel like there's maybe one more. No, that might have been it. No, that was it, I think.
Have your questions changed how to figure out?
That's what I had asked you.
The one before. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think that's it.
Cool.
That was amazing.
Rock on.
Seriously amazing. You're so funny. I can see why people are drawn to you and talk, do so well. I can see why you do so well talking to people in person, because you're such a people person.
Thanks, love.
Yeah.
It was great to see everyone on tonight. Thank you for getting on.
I know, this is an awesome.
Oh, we need to do our thing. Okay, so in the Fit Crew, when we end a team call, we do this, which when you're the person, then it's just like a thumbs down, and it's kind of sad. So it's like, so I'm just going to take the picture so I'm not thumbs downing everybody. But can I get some hearts? Some hearts?
Only if you share this picture with me, and I'll share it with my team.
I will. Cheese it up, guys. Yay, I love that people started popping on. That's cool. Okay, I will definitely share this picture, and I will stop recording